The fall of Constantinople in 1453 wasn't just the end of a city. It was the end of an empire that had stood for over 1,000 years. It marked the final chapter of the Byzantine Empire and the beginning of a new era dominated by the Ottomans. Here are 10 things you need to know about one of the most dramatic moments in world history. For more than a millennium, Constantinople was the shining jewel of the Eastern Roman Empire. Built by Emperor Constantine the Great in the 4th century, the city was protected by massive triple walls, surrounded by water on 3 sides, and considered nearly invincible. Armies had tried to take it for centuries: Persians, Arabs, Bulgars, and Crusaders, but the city always managed to survive. By 1453, however, it was just a shadow of its former glory, surrounded by enemies and running out of time. For the young Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II, conquering Constantinople wasn't just a military objective, it was destiny. Every Ottoman ruler before him had dreamed of taking the city, but none succeeded. Mehmed was only 21 years old when he decided to make the impossible happen. He believed the conquest would make him a legend, the man who would end Rome once and for all. He even studied ancient siege tactics and had maps of the city made to prepare for the final strike. Inside the city, Emperor Constantine XI Palaiologos had only about 7,000 defenders, including a few hundred Genoese and Venetian allies. Outside the walls stood Mehmed's massive army of over 80,000 men, equipped with cavalry, infantry, and advanced siege weapons. The Byzantines were hopelessly outmatched, but their morale was high. They were defending not just their homes, but the last Christian stronghold in the east, the last piece of the Roman world. One of Mehmed's greatest weapons was something new for its time: massive cannons. Designed by a Hungarian engineer named Orban, these enormous guns could fire stone balls weighing hundreds of kilograms. The biggest, called the Basilica, took dozens of oxen to move and required 200 men to operate. For weeks, these cannons pounded the city's walls day and night. It was the beginning of a new age of warfare, one where even the mightiest fortresses could be reduced to rubble. To protect the city's northern side, the Byzantines stretched a giant iron chain across the entrance of the Golden Horn, blocking Ottoman ships from entering the harbor. But Mehmed had a shocking idea. Instead of attacking the chain head-on, he ordered his men to drag ships overland. They laid wooden planks greased with animal fat and rolled their ships across land, dropping them back into the harbor behind the chain. When the Byzantines woke up the next morning and saw Ottoman ships in the Golden Horn, panic spread through the city. As the siege dragged on for nearly 2 months, food and ammunition inside Constantinople began to run low. Emperor Constantine XI refused all offers to surrender. On May 29, 1453, when the final assault began, he removed his imperial regalia and joined his soldiers on the front line. According to legend, his last words were, "The city is fallen, but I am still alive." He was never seen again. Some say he was killed fighting. Others believe he was buried beneath the ruins of his empire. The siege wasn't just a military struggle. It was seen as a clash between Christianity and Islam, between East and West. Priests and monks inside the city held mass processions, believing that divine intervention might save them. On the Ottoman side, imams preached that taking the city would fulfill a prophecy of the Prophet Muhammad. When the city finally fell, Mehmed rode into Hagia Sophia, once the largest church in the world, and ordered it to be converted into a mosque. The transformation symbolized the shift of power and faith that would shape the centuries to come. For 3 days after the fall, Constantinople suffered a brutal sack. Soldiers looted homes, churches, and palaces. Many citizens were taken as slaves. The city that once dazzled the medieval world with its art, mosaics, and golden domes was left in ruins. Yet, despite the chaos, Mehmed eventually put a stop to the destruction. He wanted Constantinople to become his new capital, not a pile of ashes. He began rebuilding it immediately, repopulating the city with people from across his empire. The fall of Constantinople ended the Byzantine Empire, which had lasted for over 1,100 years. But from its ashes rose a new empire, the Ottoman Empire, that would last for nearly 5 centuries. Mehmed made the city his capital and renamed it Istanbul, though that name only became official centuries later. Under his rule, Istanbul became one of the most important cities on earth, a crossroads of trade, culture, and religion. The fall of Constantinople changed everything. It ended the Middle Ages and opened the door to the Renaissance. Many Greek scholars fled west, bringing with them ancient manuscripts and knowledge that helped spark new thinking in Europe. Trade routes to Asia were cut off, forcing Europeans to search for new paths, leading, eventually, to the age of exploration and the discovery of the Americas. In short, the fall of one city reshaped the entire world.